All right, so you want to be a health, safety, and environmental manager.
That's right.
And you've sent over some really interesting stuff. Career guides, a list of interview questions, and even info about this RoleCatcher tool that uses AI.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Today, we're going to unpack it all,
Right?
help you nail that interview.
That's the plan.
But first,
Yeah.
let's get a feel for the job itself.
Okay.
This career guide paints a pretty dynamic picture. It's not just about paperwork, right?
Oh, definitely not. This role could take you anywhere,
Really?
from a bustling manufacturing plant to a massive construction site,
Wow.
even a hospital.
Yeah.
You're responsible for the well-being of people and the environment.
Yeah, so you're really making a difference.
You are.
It even mentions accident investigations.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, it can be.
What kind of personality thrives in this kind of role?
Well, you need someone who is detail-oriented, able to spot potential hazards before they become problems.
So thinking ahead.
Exactly. But you also need someone who can communicate effectively
Yeah.
across all levels,
Hmm.
from the newest employee to the CEO.
Okay. So a blend of analytical skills and people skills.
That's a good way to put it.
That's fascinating. All right, let's get to the heart of this deep dive.
Okay.
The interview guide
Yeah.
has 10 common questions.
10.
I'm particularly curious about that first one.
Okay.
What inspired you to pursue a career in health, safety, and environmental management?
Yeah.
It seems simple, but I bet there's more to it.
Absolutely. They're not just looking for a chronological retelling of your resume.
Right.
They want to understand your why, what truly motivates you to pursue this path.
I see.
Think about a specific experience that solidified your interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of just saying, I've always been interested in safety,
Right.
could you talk about a time you saw the impact of a safety hazard firsthand?
Exactly. Maybe you witnessed an incident that could have been prevented,
Hmm.
or saw the devastating consequences of environmental negligence. Wow. The key is to make it personal and connect it to your desire to make a difference.
That's a good point. And that's where this RoleCatcher tool comes in, right?
Yes.
It can help you tailor your answer to the specific company and job you're applying for.
Precisely.
Give me an example of how that works.
Sure. Let's say the job description emphasizes experience with waste management.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI can help you weave that into your answer, highlighting relevant experiences that demonstrate your expertise.
That's really smart. Okay, moving on to question number 2.
Right.
What are the biggest challenges you have faced in your previous HSE management roles? This one feels a bit trickier.
They're trying to assess your problem-solving abilities, your resilience, and your ability to learn from your experiences.
So it's not just about the problem, it's about how you overcame it.
You got it.
Okay.
The key here is to focus on solutions, not just listing off problems.
Okay. So instead of dwelling on a difficult situation, I should explain how I tackled it, what I learned, and how I grew from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's say you face resistance when implementing a new safety protocol.
That happens.
It does.
Yeah.
Talk about how you identified the root cause of the resistance, adapted your communication strategy, and ultimately got everyone on board.
Really? So it's about bringing people together.
It is.
And it wouldn't hurt to mention any positive outcomes, right?
Absolutely.
Like a decrease in accidents or increased compliance.
Those are great examples. Quantifiable results demonstrate your impact and showcase your effectiveness as an HSE professional.
Yeah, so you can really show what you've done.
You can.
That's really cool.
Remember, they're looking for someone who can deliver tangible improvements.
Makes sense. Right now to question 3.
Okay.
How do you stay up to date with the latest regulations and best practices in HSE management?
That's a good one.
This feels like it's all about showing you're a lifelong learner.
Precisely. HSE is constantly evolving, so employers want to see that you're proactive about staying ahead of the curve.
That makes sense.
Instead of just saying you read industry publications,
Right.
mention specific journals, conferences, or organizations you follow.
Oh, so I could name drop a recent article I read on new OSHA regulations for hazardous waste disposal.
Perfect.
Right.
And how you applied those insights in a previous role.
That shows you're really on top of things.
It does. That shows you're not just passively consuming information, but actively applying it to real-world situations.
I like that. And guess what?
What?
RoleCatcher has a massive database of resources
It does.
that can help you find relevant articles and guides to bolster your knowledge and your answers.
That's right.
That's incredibly useful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's tackle question 4.
Right.
How do you ensure that HSE policies and procedures are effectively communicated and enforced throughout an organization? This sounds like it's about leadership and getting everyone on the same page.
You hit the nail on the head. They want to know you can gain buy-in from all levels.
Okay.
From the CEO to the newest hire.
So it's not just about putting it in writing.
No, simply saying, I'll make sure everyone reads the policy manual, won't cut it.
Right.
You need to be more creative than that.
So it's about tailoring communication to different learning styles.
Exactly.
Maybe using a mix of written materials, online training modules, and even hands-on workshops.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And don't forget about follow-through.
Right.
How will you ensure those procedures are actually being followed?
You got to check up on people.
You do think about regular audits,
Right.
on-the-spot inspections,
Right.
even positive reinforcement for those demonstrating exemplary safety practices.
I like that. So you're encouraging people to do the right thing.
You are.
Yeah, and of course there needs to be a system for addressing non-compliance.
Absolutely.
You can't just let things slide.
You can't, but the focus should always be on creating a culture of safety,
Yeah,
not just punishing people for mistakes.
makes sense.
People are more likely to follow rules they understand and believe in.
That's true. Now, this next question seems like a potential trap. How do you balance the competing demands of cost and safety in a high-risk industry?
Yeah.
It feels like they're trying to trick you into saying safety always comes first,
Right.
which realistically isn't always feasible.
You're right, it is a bit of a trap.
It is.
They want to see you can think critically, understand the complexities of running a business, and make tough decisions when needed.
So it's more nuanced than just saying safety first.
It is.
Okay.
Much more nuanced.
So acknowledging that cost is a factor is okay,
Yes.
as long as I emphasize it shouldn't come at the expense of safety.
Precisely. You could explain how you always strive to find cost-effective safety solutions, but are also prepared to advocate for additional resources if essential for protecting employees and the environment.
So you're looking for that balance.
Finding that balance.
Maybe I could share, I had to choose between two safety systems.
Okay.
One more expensive, but with a higher level of protection.
Yeah.
I could explain my decision-making process, the factors I weighed, and how I ultimately reached a balanced solution.
That's a great approach. It showcases your ability to make informed, data-driven decisions while still prioritizing safety.
I like that. So it's not just about the outcome, it's about the process.
It is. Remember, it's about finding the sweet spot where safety and business needs align.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 6 takes us back to the front lines.
Okay.
What steps do you take to ensure the safety and well-being of employees who work in hazardous environments? This seems straightforward, but I imagine they're looking for more than just listing off safety procedures.
You're absolutely right. They're looking for a deeper understanding of risk management in hazardous environments.
So it's about understanding the risks.
It is. It's not just about providing PPE.
Right.
It's about creating a culture where everyone feels empowered to speak up if they see something unsafe.
So you want people to feel comfortable speaking up.
Exactly.
Okay.
So talking about thorough risk assessments, robust training programs, and clear communication channels so employees feel comfortable reporting hazards.
Gotcha. And don't forget about continuous improvement.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah.
Mention how you would monitor and evaluate safety measures, track near misses, and accidents, analyze data to identify trends and make adjustments as needed.
Wow. So it's a constant process of evaluation.
It is.
Okay. Now, this next question has me thinking about the big picture.
Oh, okay.
How do you manage the environmental impact of operations in a large manufacturing facility, especially with the increased focus on sustainability?
Yeah.
This feels incredibly relevant.
It is. Companies are under pressure to reduce their environmental footprint, and they need HSE managers who can lead the charge.
That's a big responsibility.
It is. It's not just about complying with regulations. It's about going above and beyond to minimize environmental harm.
So it's really about taking initiative.
It is.
So talking about conducting environmental impact assessments,
Yes.
identifying opportunities for waste reduction and energy efficiency, and implementing sustainable practices throughout the organization.
Exactly. And don't forget about stakeholder engagement. Mentioning how you'd engage with the local community or environmental groups
Right.
demonstrates you understand the importance of transparency and collaboration.
That's a good point. Okay, on to question 8.
Right.
How do you manage the safety of subcontractors and vendors who work on site? This seems like a balancing act of managing relationships
It is.
while ensuring everyone adheres to safety standards.
Subcontractors and vendors often work in higher risk environments.
That's true.
So it's crucial to set clear expectations and enforce robust safety protocols.
So it's not enough to just hand them a safety manual and hope for the best?
Definitely not.
Okay.
You could talk about vetting subcontractors based on their safety record, conducting thorough site orientations, providing ongoing oversight,
Right.
and even incorporating safety requirements into contracts.
So you're really making sure that safety is a priority for everyone.
That's right. You're establishing a shared culture of safety,
I like that.
where everyone, including subcontractors and vendors, feels responsible for maintaining a safe work environment.
All right, question number 9 is a bit intimidating.
Oh,
How do you handle conflicts or disagreements with senior management or other stakeholders regarding HSE policies or decisions?
yeah.
This feels like a test of your leadership and diplomacy skills.
It is. It's about navigating pushback when advocating for safety and environmental protection. They want to see you can communicate effectively, build consensus, and stand your ground when necessary.
So avoiding conflict altogether isn't the answer.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
You need to be able to address disagreements constructively.
Right.
Remember, conflict can be healthy
Really?
if it leads to better solutions and a stronger safety culture.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not.
So instead of framing it as a battle,
Yeah.
I should approach it with a collaborative mindset focused on finding the best solution for everyone involved.
Exactly. You're not trying to win an argument. You're trying to find the best way to protect employees and the environment, even if it requires some compromise and negotiation.
So you're looking for that common ground.
You are.
And if I need to stand my ground on a non-negotiable safety issue,
Okay.
doing so calmly, respectfully, and backing up my arguments with data and evidence will be key.
Precisely. You want to be assertive without being aggressive.
Yeah.
Demonstrating your commitment to safety while maintaining professionalism.
That's a good balance.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, the final question focuses on outcomes.
All right.
How do you measure the success of your HSE programs and initiatives? This seems straightforward.
Yeah.
It's all about data and metrics, right?
It is, but it's also about understanding the bigger picture
Okay,
and connecting your efforts to the organization's overall success.
I see.
It's not just about tracking accidents.
Right.
It's about demonstrating the holistic impact of your HSE program.
So besides tracking accidents and near misses,
Mm-hmm.
I should also consider things like employee participation in safety training.
That's a good one.
Right.
The number of hazards identified and corrected, and the results of environmental audits.
So it's about being proactive.
It is, and don't forget about softer metrics like employee feedback and morale.
Okay.
A safe and healthy work environment often leads to increased job satisfaction and productivity, which ultimately benefits the company.
So you're really showing the value of HSE
Exactly.
in the entire company.
The entire company.
So by highlighting these diverse metrics,
Yeah.
I can showcase a comprehensive understanding of how HSE initiatives contribute to the organization's success across multiple dimensions.
You got it. And remember, RoleCatcher can help you tailor these metrics to the specific company and role you're applying for.
Oh, that's helpful.
By analyzing the job description, it can highlight the key performance indicators they value most,
Okay.
helping you fine-tune your answer for maximum impact.
This has been incredibly helpful. We've covered all 10 questions, and I'm already feeling much more prepared.
That's fantastic, but we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll go even deeper into crafting those killer answers with specific examples and strategies to help you stand out from the competition.
Sounds like a plan. We'll see you soon for part 2.
Looking forward to it. Welcome back.
I'm excited for part 2.
Yeah, we've laid the groundwork by understanding the role,
Right.
dissecting those common interview questions.
Yeah, those were really helpful.
Now let's shift gears
Okay.
and focus on crafting compelling answers
Okay.
that showcase your expertise and passion for health safety and environmental management.
I'm ready to get practical.
Good.
We've talked about the what behind the questions,
Uh-huh.
but I'm still a bit nervous about actually delivering those answers
Right.
in a high-pressure interview setting.
Yeah, that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
Interviewing can be nerve-wracking,
It can.
but that's where practice and preparation come in.
Right.
And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can be an invaluable tool in this process.
Right. We talked about how it tailors feedback
Yes.
to the specific job you're applying for.
Yes.
Can you give me a concrete example of how that works?
Absolutely. Let's say you're applying for a role that heavily emphasizes experience with hazardous waste management.
Okay.
You could use RoleCatcher to practice answering that first question.
The one about the inspiration.
Exactly. About what inspired you to pursue this career.
Okay.
So you could talk about that community cleanup event where you saw the impact of pollution firsthand,
Yeah.
but then you could weave in your specific experience with hazardous waste management.
So I could mention my research projects,
Yes.
internships,
Yeah.
or any relevant work experience
Exactly.
that demonstrates my expertise in that area.
That's right. RoleCatcher's AI will analyze your answer and provide feedback on whether you're effectively highlighting the skills and experience
Hmm.
that are most relevant to the job description.
So it's telling me if I'm on the right track.
It-
That's incredibly helpful. It takes the guesswork out of tailoring my answers.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd love to dive deeper into a couple of those questions that felt particularly challenging.
Okay, which ones?
Let's start with that one about managing conflicts with senior management.
Right.
I understand that avoiding conflict isn't the answer,
It's not.
but I'm still a bit unsure how to strike that balance between being assertive and respectful.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance.
It is.
But it's a crucial skill for any HSE professional. Remember, conflict isn't inherently negative.
Okay.
When handled constructively, it can lead to better solutions and a stronger safety culture.
So it's not always a bad thing.
It's not.
So it's about framing it as a collaborative problem-solving process.
Yes.
Where everyone is working towards the common goal of safety and well-being,
Exactly.
even if they have different perspectives on how to get there.
That's right. You want to demonstrate that you can engage in healthy debate, listen to different viewpoints,
Yeah.
and ultimately find solutions that address everyone's concerns.
So finding that compromise.
Finding that compromise.
But what if I encounter a situation where I truly believe a safety issue is non-negotiable,
Okay.
even if it means disagreeing with senior management?
That's where your ability to stand your ground while maintaining professionalism is critical.
Hmm.
You need to be able to articulate your concerns clearly,
Okay.
back them up with data and evidence, and explain why the proposed solution might compromise safety.
So it's about being firm but respectful,
Exactly.
focusing on the facts and the potential risks,
Yes.
and explaining why a particular decision might not be in the best interest of the company or its employees.
Precisely. Remember, you're not just an advocate for safety, you're also a strategic advisor.
Okay.
You need to be able to explain how safety decisions impact the bigger picture,
Right.
including the company's reputation, financial performance, and legal compliance.
So you're thinking about all the different angles.
You are.
That's a really helpful perspective.
Yeah.
Now, what about that question about measuring the success of HSE programs? I understand it's about more than just tracking accidents,
It is.
but I'm still a bit fuzzy on what other metrics are important.
Yeah, it's about demonstrating a holistic understanding of how HSE contributes to the organization's success. Think about it this way.
Okay.
What are the ultimate goals of an effective HSE program?
Well, obviously to prevent accidents and injuries,
Uh-huh.
but also to create a safe and healthy work environment,
Yes.
protect the environment,
Uh-huh.
and comply with all regulations.
That's right. So your metrics should reflect all of those goals you mentioned, tracking accidents and near misses, which is essential.
Right.
But you could also talk about things like employee participation in safety training programs.
Right. If employees are actively engaged in learning about safety procedures,
Mm-hmm.
it indicates a strong safety culture.
Exactly. And you can even tie that back to the company's bottom line.
Oh, how so?
You could mention how increased safety awareness can lead to fewer accidents,
Right.
lower insurance premiums, and ultimately increased profitability.
So you're really selling the value of HSE.
You are.
That's a great point. It shows that you're not just thinking about safety in isolation.
Right.
You're connecting it to the company's overall success.
Yeah.
What other metrics could I highlight?
You could talk about the number of hazards identified and corrected,
Okay.
demonstrating your proactive approach to risk management. You could also mention the results of environmental audits,
Right.
showcasing your commitment to sustainability.
And I could even talk about employee feedback and morale,
Absolutely.
highlighting how a safe and healthy work environment contributes to job satisfaction and productivity.
Exactly. You want to paint a picture of how your HSE initiatives create a ripple effect of positive outcomes throughout the organization.
That's really cool. I'm starting to see how I can weave together data points, personal experiences,
Yes.
and a broader understanding of the company's goals to create truly impactful answers.
Exactly. And remember, RoleCatcher can be your secret weapon in this process. By analyzing the job description, it can identify the key performance indicators
Okay.
that the company values most,
Right.
helping you tailor your answers to highlight the metrics that matter most to them.
That's incredibly valuable. It feels like RoleCatcher is like having a personal coach who understands the specific nuances of each job I'm applying for.
That's a great way to put it. It's like having an insider's perspective on what the interviewers are really looking for,
Right.
helping you present yourself as the ideal candidate.
I like that. Okay. I'm feeling much more confident about tackling those tougher questions now, but I have one more question
Okay.
about the interview process itself.
Right.
I know we've talked about how RoleCatcher can help with crafting answers,
Yes.
but can it also help me prepare for those behavioral interview questions?
It can.
Where they ask me to tell stories about specific situations?
Absolutely. In fact, that's one of RoleCatcher's strengths.
Oh, wow.
It has a feature that allows you to practice answering common behavioral interview questions.
Okay.
Like, tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult coworker, or describe a situation where you had to make a tough decision.
So I could actually type in my answers?
Yes.
And get feedback from the AI?
RoleCatcher's AI will analyze your responses, looking for key elements like clarity, conciseness,
Wow.
and relevance to the question.
Okay.
It can even provide suggestions for improvement,
Ah.
helping you fine-tune your storytelling skills and ensure you're conveying your experiences in a compelling and impactful way.
That's amazing. It feels like having a personal storytelling coach right in my pocket.
That's a great analogy. And remember, storytelling is a crucial skill for any HSE professional.
Right.
You need to be able to communicate complex information
Yeah.
in a way that engages people, persuades them to take action,
Right.
and ultimately creates a culture of safety.
Okay. I'm feeling much more prepared for those behavioral questions now. Is there anything else RoleCatcher can help me with during the interview process?
Absolutely. One of the most nerve-wracking aspects of interviewing
I agree.
is the unknown, not knowing what questions they'll ask or how to respond on the spot.
That's the worst part.
RoleCatcher can actually simulate mock interviews,
Really?
giving you a chance to practice answering questions in a
Oh.
realistic setting.
So it actually asks me questions.
It does.
Like a real interviewer.
It draws from a database of thousands of common interview questions,
Wow.
tailored to the specific job you're applying for.
Okay.
And here's the best part. It uses voice recognition technology
Really?
to analyze your responses in real time,
Great.
providing feedback on your pacing, tone, and clarity.
It's like having a personal interview coach.
It is.
Wow, that's incredible.
Who can pinpoint your strengths and weaknesses
Right.
and help you improve your delivery.
And the more I practice with RoleCatcher,
Yes.
the more confident and prepared
Well,
feel going into the real interview.
exactly.
This is all so helpful. I'm
Yes.
starting to feel like I have a secret weapon
Good.
in my job search arsenal.
That's the goal. Remember, interviewing is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice and preparation to master it.
That's true.
But with the right tools and guidance, you can absolutely ace that interview and land your dream job in health, safety, and environmental management.
This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive into the world of HSE interviews. I'm feeling much more prepared and confident now what's next on our agenda.
In the final part of our deep dive, we'll shift gears from interview prep to career development. We'll explore the career guide you provided,
Okay.
mapping out potential career paths,
Okay.
and highlighting the skills and experiences you'll need to progress in this exciting field.
Sounds like a plan. We'll see you soon for the final part of our deep dive. All right, so we've talked about acing that interview,
We have.
but what about life after you land the job?
Yeah, the real journey begins.
Right. What does a long-term career in HSE actually look like?
Well, this career guide you shared,
Yeah.
it outlines a pretty clear progression
What is it?
from entry-level coordinator roles
Okay.
to the ultimate goal of becoming a manager.
So there's room to grow.
Definitely.
That's exciting.
It is.
You can really climb that ladder.
You can, and the responsibilities and impact they grow with each step.
I can imagine.
But it also highlights the importance of continuous learning and development.
Oh, that makes sense.
HSE, it's a dynamic field constantly evolving with new regulations, technologies, and best practices.
So you can't just rest on your laurels?
No, you gotta stay curious
Yeah.
and seek opportunities to expand your knowledge.
So it's not a set it and forget it career.
No, not at all.
You need to be adaptable,
Yes.
embrace new challenges.
Exactly. And that's where those transferable skills we talked about in the interview prep come in.
Right, like communication, problem-solving, leadership.
Those are the ones, your ability to communicate, effectively solve problems creatively, and lead with confidence.
Yeah.
Those skills, they'll serve you well throughout your career.
So how does that translate into specific career paths?
Good question. The career guide, it mentions various specializations.
Oh, really? Like what?
For example, you could focus on occupational safety.
Like specializing in ergonomics, hazard identification, or industrial hygiene.
So you could really niche down.
You could, or you could delve into environmental management,
Okay.
becoming an expert in sustainability, pollution control, or waste management.
So many options.
There are.
And I imagine there are opportunities to work in different industries.
Absolutely. The skills of an HSE professional They're transferable across a wide range of sectors.
So you're not limited to one specific industry.
No, you have the flexibility to explore different industries and find the one that aligns best with your interests and values.
That's really empowering.
It's not a one-size-fits-all career path.
All right, you can really tailor it to your own passions and goals.
You can, and remember, RoleCatcher, it can help you navigate this journey.
Oh, how so?
It has resources to help you research different career paths, identify your strengths,
Okay.
and even connect with professionals in your desired field.
That's incredibly valuable.
It's like having a personalized career counselor.
Right in my pocket. Exactly. So as you prepare for your interview, don't just focus on landing the job.
Okay.
Think about how this role fits into your long-term career aspirations.
That's a great point. It's about seeing the bigger picture of this interview. It's just the first step.
Exactly.
In a rewarding and impactful career, any final words of wisdom for our listeners as they embark on this journey?
Remember why you chose this path. You have the opportunity to make a real difference in the world, protecting people, preserving the environment, and creating a safer and healthier future for everyone. Let that passion guide you,
That's beautiful.
and you'll achieve great things.
That's a wonderful note to end on. Thank you for sharing your expertise and insights with us today. It's been an incredibly informative deep dive.
My pleasure. I wish all our listeners the best of luck in their job search and their future careers in health safety and environmental management.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you feel empowered and prepared to take on the challenge of becoming an HSE professional. Remember, with dedication, continuous learning, and a little help from tools like RoleCatcher, you can achieve your career goals and make a positive impact on the world. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep learning